Welcome to the Spiritual Quest podcast, a transformative journey where we step into a world of wonder and exploration, seeking answers to profound questions. Why am I here? What is my mission in life? And how can I make a positive impact in this world? Join me and my inspiring guests on a spiritual quest to fully embrace your uniqueness and speak your truth with grace and gratitude. I am your host, Vibeke Garnos, always guided by spirit. Hello, and welcome to another enlightening episode of the Spiritual Quest podcast, where we dive into the essence of unity, resilience, and inspiration. Today, I'm honored to host the visionary leaders of the Joy Keepers Network, an incredible community dedicated to empowering spiritual seekers, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and soul activists. And we'll explore their transformative mission and delve into the creation of their latest offering, the free ebook, How Do You Live in a World of Crisis? This remarkable collection featured contributions from esteemed spiritual authors, healers, teachers from around the globe, offering powerful insights and guidance to navigating these turbulent times. And I must say, I'm honored to share that I'm one of the contributors to this heartfelt gift. So please join us as we uncover the collaborative spirit and profound messages that make this ebook a beacon of hope and self-discovery. We'll discuss how you, too, can embrace joy and positivity even amidst life's challenges. So sit back, open your hearts, and prepare to be inspired by this captivating conversation with the Joy Keepers Network. It's my pleasure to welcome Halina Goldstein and Sheila Applegate from the Joy Keepers Network leadership team. Welcome, beautiful souls.
Hello.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you both are here. I've been so excited this whole week just to get us on this podcast now so that we can share this beautiful, beautiful gift. But before we get started with that, would you please, Helena, because you're the founder of the Joy Keepers Network, would you please share a little bit about your story and then how you ended up founding this beautiful organization?
Yeah, well, thank you. And I think I'll try to make the story short. The story is that I've been on a spiritual journey since I was 18 or something like that. So it's been a long and winded road and really interesting. And as many of you know, during such a journey, you build things and they fall apart, and they build things and they fall apart. And each time we learn something new and we create something new. And this was one of those times when I felt there was nothing wrong really what I have created. I just felt that I needed to kind of just clear the table and start all over, and I couldn't even explain why. And I went to a conference in Spain that was called the European Transformational Teachers Gathering for the first time, with that openness, having no idea what's going to happen, and the energy there was such that it felt like I was like taken by a wave and then moved to a new place. And in that new place, something whispered to me to create a network around joy. That was all I knew. And because I always listen to guidance, what else is there to do? I
Right.
started kind of playing with that idea, and it's been it's such an interesting journey because it's been a learning process about listening to guidance, but also knowing that things take time. Sometimes you listen to something, then you get a little seed, you put it in the earth, and tiny leaf comes up, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And I knew it was all about holding the frequency of joy.
Mm.
And so I created a Facebook group and started trying to gather some people around me. And eventually it started to kind of solidify, a tiny plant, but kind of solid. And then again, there was a guidance that this network was no longer to be my network, but it was to be led by a leadership team. And I thought that was a wonderful news. And so I started connecting with different people and trying to build together. And they were so gracious to say yes. And then they left again and yes and left again. And then one fine day, I was interviewed by Sheila on her podcast back then, as far as I remember. And there was this connection. And a little bit, not much later, I think, I asked Sheila, who was very, 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 very busy at the time, if she would like to join the leadership team. And strangely, she said yes.
Was it strange, Sheila? Let's introduce yourself, okay? You do that. Say who you are, and then now we know how you guys met, but tell us a little bit about yourself, Sheila.
So I am Sheila Applegate, and I have spent the last 30 years trying to support people in accessing their higher levels of consciousness. I communicate with the divine as a channel, a spiritual reader, an author, and my greatest passion is really to help people find that within themselves, because I think that is our natural state, to be able to connect and live from our higher levels of consciousness. So when I met Helena, the same thing happened. I was like, I just love Helena. And so she did ask me to do something, and I was busy. And I was like, well, I'm not going to say no. Of course, I want to be part of the co-leaders of the Joy Keepers Network. Who wouldn't, right? Like a global
Yes.
network to infuse joy in the world. How could we say no to that?
So I agree with you so much, but I want to say something. I don't know if you remember this, Sheila, but I had you on the podcast, and you also have a masterclass with me, right? And so
Yes.
after with that, we had some discussions, and you said, "Yeah, do you know Helena? Do you remember that you mentioned her to me and said, well, you should connect with
No.
Helena?" And I was like, yay. And now it took a while, but here we are, three beautiful souls uniting as meant.
Yeah.
And all these synchronicities is finally coming to fruition. And we've been, or should I say, for me, I speak for myself, I'm so honored to be part of this collaborative of creating this beautiful ebook that is now out. So I want to ask you, both of you, but let's start with you, Helena. How did this come about? What was your inspiration of going forth and starting this book?
Well, it's kind of the same story, you know.
Yeah.
One day, I was reading. I almost don't read any newsletters. I don't have time for that. But I read one newsletter about publishing, because I'm an author, by the way, also, and have published a few of my own books, poetry, stories. So this is the one guy whose stuff I read because it's so solid and open. And there was there was like a some results from the research he made about what people are searching on Amazon. And I was like, so what are they searching on, in the nonfiction and in self-improvement? And what they were searching was, how do you live? That was the search term, how do you live? And I thought, and then the rest of the sentence kind of came to me, like, how do you live in a world of crisis? Because it was so obvious to me that this is why people search, because this is the place we are globally, that it looks, if you look at it this way, it looks like everything is falling apart. And how do you live in that world? How do you create? So there was this idea. So of course I went to Sheila with that idea, at first as my own idea, and quickly and fortunately, we decided it was perfect for the Joy Keepers. And then we started talking about inviting other authors, so it would be a collaborative thing. And it was such a beautiful experience, because the people that we suggested, each of us, some people, and I'd say 90% of the people that we suggested reacted like you reacted, Vibeke, with such beautiful energy with so much joy, so much love, so big a yes. And the few ones that didn't, they just didn't have time, and that was totally, that's life. That's how it works. No problem with that. But there was such a response, and that experience it lifted the book. Like in that moment, just when we asked, uh, uh, there was an expansion taking place. And then you all and we all started writing chapters, and now we have a book.
And such a beautiful book as well. So Sheila, what did you give me your thoughts about when Helena shared this opportunity or or this dream with you? How did you react to that? What did you feel? What came to you?
Well, it was such a beautiful idea, and I think a part that Helena didn't mention that really inspired me in the idea is that right from the beginning, she wanted it to be free, and we decided without even an email, because everything in our society is so capitalistically motivated, even if we're just, getting the capital of somebody's email for our list or whatever. And we wanted this piece to be just available, our gift to humanity, and make it so easy for people to share and to experience it, and to bring people together. So it sounded like a brilliant idea. And we sometimes get together when we're creating, and we take on very big things and say we're going to do it in very short periods of time. We did that with this. It was a very quick turnaround because we wanted it to be out to the world right now. Well, they're still wondering about that because we are in a shift and it's going to get better. So we need to help them get to the better part, not, have it in 3 years when we're all in this bliss. So, so there's definitely a lot of divine inspiration and divine
Mhm.
support. And yeah, it's
Yes,
been great.
and I must, from my point of view as well, when you reached out to me and I've read the email, the joy, the love, the empowerment I felt in that moment receiving that invitation, if I felt that, I believe that, like, we're all connected, that joy, that feeling of just, wow, I can contribute to something also, which I recognize it was for free, which really resonate with me in this period that we're in, because everything is, like you said, everything cost, and things are, not everyone in the world are privileged the way we are in Norway or in the States. So I thought, what a beautiful gift to give to humanity. It is not separating anything, it's just bringing everyone into that unity consciousness. And everyone is able to be part of it and to be lifted by beautiful teachings, like from beautiful written words filled with so much unity and love and compassion. And I thought, this is what we want for our future. So if doing this, I believe, this is my belief, um, for the future, this we'll have more of these collaborations that are gifted for free, that are not driven by the 3D reality, to call it that, but it's really heart centered. And you too embody that so much. So when I felt so grateful to you too when you reached out, because I've really felt part of something. It's easier to feel separated by, I do my things, Sheila, you do yours,
Mhm.
Helena does her thing. And so, yeah, we support each other, but I believe that in the future, we really need to stand united in a more in more aspects, or more, what do you call it in English, like a brighter or broader aspects of what we do as humans, right? And so
Mhm.
I just wanted to share that because you guys following your hearts and doing this and that inner guidance, it resonated with me, and I thought, this is what I've been waiting for. This is a sign. This is
Mm.
my next step. And I just wanted to share with you because I felt like it really was the next step for my personal journey, but also another way of impacting the world in a positive way. So I just want
Mhm.
to use this opportunity to say, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I love you both. And I really hope that this book will shine a light out into the world and help anyone that feels a little lost in these turbulent times. So thank you.
Thank you. This
Thank
this
you.
is so because there's such an energy of joy around the book, but also gratitude. It's been again, it's been this energy that keeps expanding, and I have to say, because it happened with the Joy Keepers Network, now it's happening with the book, and I think there's a lesson for all of us, lesson experience for all of us, is that we don't have to, we have this hero uh, um, ideas, I have to be something big and special and then I shall change the world. But that's not, doesn't have to work that way. Sometimes it's a tiny idea and you say yes to it and you water it and it grows and then you connect with other people and miracles start to happen just because we say yes. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be terribly difficult. All it takes is our yes and our openness. And that's what we experience so much with this book, is that everyone is so open and just said yes. So I think that, as exactly as you say, because there can be so much more of it in the world, because together there's so much more we can do.
Yes, you're so right. There's so much we can do, and sometimes it's just about tuning inwards and seeing what can I offer, what can I serve, how can I use my gift just to help out, just to you know give a hand to
Mm.
somebody else. And I think this book is a dedication to that. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, where in the world. It's here for you. So I just want to mention that if you want to download the book, you can either go to your website, Helena. I'm just gonna put the website up so people can see it right here, and I'm gonna slowly. I had to move this, so I'm gonna move the book a little bit so people can see it, and
Fine.
then or in the description below this video, you'll have a link and you can download that as well from my website. And it's all free. You do not have to give your email. Just click the download button and whoop, it's in you. It's there on your computer or on your phone, whatever way you choose it. So I just wanted to say that, and I just want to say hi to Mia. She's hi from Norway. Happy to be here. An exciting topic. Thank you, Mia. And she is and to win a private channeling with the order. And I wanted just to mention that as we are here, because in the book, I took this question to the order. As a channeler, this is what I do. I brought it to my group of visionary, rainbow visionaries, as they are called. It's just a name, just to explore their own resources. And so I asked them if they could share that question with the order, and so they did. So you can actually hear it if you read the book. There's a link in the book under my chapter. You can click there and you will be taken to a page where you can actually listen to that channeling that was given, that's summarized in the book. So it's all pure from the order and from using my soul energy and my soul gift to share that message. So I just wanted to mention that, since I am this September giving away a private channeling. And Mia, you are in the running of being able to have that channeling just because you were here sharing your love. I appreciate you. Thank you. I see you. So I just want to mention that for everyone who might be tuning in, that that's also an opportunity this month on the Spiritual Quest podcast. Okay, back to the book. Okay, I have a little bit of questions that are more formal, if I may say so myself, because we could just talk and talk, but I just want to give people an opportunity to understand what's in this book. I mean, it's might be self-explanatory in a way, but I want to hear from you, Sheila, and from you, Helena. What in the book really resonated with you at this moment in your life? Any gifts that you got from reading this book?
Well, um, I loved every single chapter. They were all so unique and reflected the author in such a way that it made me feel filled and connected to each of the authors. So there's lots of different ways that each author express themselves. You are the channel. I talk about a superpower that we all have, which I'll let you read and find out what that is. And someone spoke about glimmers of gratitude, which we talk a lot
Yes.
about gratitude, but glimmers of gratitude is just stuck in my head. I can't stop
Love
thinking
that.
about that. Yeah.
What about you, Helena? Anything
Well,
that resonated?
yeah, well, what resonated with me like overall was, and because we didn't say to our co-authors, please write in this and this way. We just invited them to write, to answer the question. And what happened was that there was it for most, if not all of them, it started with with something personal. There is, of course, the some of it is channeling, so like you do, it's that's a bit of a different situation, but still it's part of your journey, right, Vibeke? and
Yes.
and so everyone is in the book as themselves. So they say, I've experienced this and this, and people have been through difficult things. We all have. Welcome to the human journey,
Yes.
right? So, which I think is so important and so life reassuring, that the advice that comes from profound human experience. It's not just nice theories. It's something that we all have lived and breathed, as you also breathe the channeling, right? That's what
Yes.
you do when you channel, you
Yes.
become it, right? So that's to me is makes the book such a jewel, that it's real. It's real people sharing their real experiences, and also providing, because one thing is that the book is free, but each of our authors also on top of that provided a free gift. So you get 12 different tools, very different tools, and can find out what works for me, what speaks to me, what inspires me, and it is all very grounded and profound. So I'm just amazed in general about this book.
So, what do you hope for when it comes to this ebook now being spread across the world? And I must just underline, it's brand new. It just launched. I mean, was 2 days ago, right?
Yeah,
And so,
right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
brand new. It's like, oh, so exciting. So, what's your hope for this book?
Sheila?
My hope is that people will take that moment to open it up and read what inspires them within it. Receive the gift. I think so many times we say, oh, thank you, but we don't actually receive the gifts that are given to us and offered
Yes.
because we're overwhelmed. And so actually receive it, open it up, and let the gems, whether you read the whole thing or scroll through it to the part that stands out to you, and then share it to everybody that you think would be inspired by it, and just let it ripple around the world through human connection. That's my vision of its possibilities.
Mm. Well, I'm sending so much love and light to this book every single day. I have my intention setting in the morning and I hold this book vibrationally and I just see it going where it's needed and just pushing that energy out. And I hope everyone will come together and do the same and share with friends and family because you never know if somebody really needs it. And so I just wish and hope that this will really, really reach the whole globe. And I have that deeply, deeply anchored within my heart. And what you focus on becomes a reality. Oh, what do you say, Sheila? Yes,
Indeed.
indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about, if you're up for that, talk about the Joy Keepers Network. We want to learn more about this community and see if some want to join this community. So first of all, what happens in this community?
Well, in in the physical, I have to say this way because it occurred to me recently that when we say Joy Keepers Network, for all these years, I've thought Joy Keepers Network is a community on Facebook. It's an email list, But really, Joykeepers Network is a network, and some of it is a community and email list, but it's really people who may or may not call themselves Joykeepers, but are connected in joy. I believe that is the reality of the Joykeepers Network. But aside of that, we have a Facebook group with some 700 plus members where we post regularly. So there is an exchange of inspiration. Sometimes we go deep, sometimes it's just a little thing that makes you smile, but it is a very safe community. It is a place where from time to time people have shared something very personal, because we have space for joy embraces everything, so we have space for people to be themselves there. And then we have the cafes, right, Sheila? The
Yes.
cafes. So there, that's once a month we meet, and Sheila and I, when I say right, Sheila, it's because one of the reasons is that Sheila there shares a meditation, a unique meditation every month, and these meditations are like amazing,
I
uh,
know. I know. Sheila
right?
is amazing
Like,
when
but
it comes to
Sheila,
meditation. I love listening to her.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like she takes us so deep. And so when every time, every single month, I say, this is like the best meditation we had until so far.
Until the next one.
So exactly. So we have and it's on Zoom, it's free and all that. And also it's an opportunity to chat and to meet each other. Like today, it's the three of us meeting, but in the cafe, anyone who registers can join it, and it's a rare opportunity to meet with people who you resonate with, and who might be you might never have met otherwise.
Mm.
And we have also some courses, right? Some workshops. um,
Mhm.
so there's and there's more. There will be more. We
Mm.
have the monthly
Right.
we have the monthly shows with Solidity Today also, where we
Yes.
speak.
Yes. Well, it sounds wonderful. And to be honest, I'm thinking about the uh, everything that's on the internet at this moment, even on Facebook. I mean, the algorithms and everything that is being sent our way and out of our control, and we just have to kind of, receive it. I think in this time, I'm just reflecting because I was doing this morning. I said, well, I've had so much joy following a lot of people or following groups. And I said, well, I'm going to start unsubscribing. There's so much energy. It's overwhelming. I want to focus on the energies that are high, that are joyful, that are inspirational. And it's a new time for me as well. Like we all go through seasons of our lives. And this is a very transformative time, not only for humanity, but for our souls that which are expanding. And I have more mystical experiences now than I had for a long time. There, I feel like the veil is thinning even more, and I'm having to really reevaluate how I use my energy and what I allow into my space, my sacred space. And so when you're speaking about this community, I'm thinking this is what like you also said, Sheila, like you get a gift, but and you're appreciative and you're grateful for it, but do you really accept it? So when you're getting an invitation to joining the Joy Keepers network or on Facebook, or think about, I want people to make a conscious decision. Like, what do I want moving forward? What do I want to tell the algorithms? What do I want? Take back your control, take back your power, stand in your light, choose to be part of that community that shines, that lights up the internet. I mean, it's just, for me, that's such an important thing in this period of time, especially talking about AI, right? So let's come together, be humans, right? And just share our joy and happiness in a loving, joyful community. I think that's that's the most important thing for me. So, what do you think about that, ladies? How are you doing or dealing with what's going on?
I love the idea of, us coming together in joy in Facebook. I'm one that kind of pushed away from all the algorithms. I wanted my way out when Helena called and said, "Can you do this?" And it's centered in Facebook. But to me, the Joy Keepers group in Facebook is a beacon of joy, and it's a frequency of joy. We're very clear that it isn't a a lighthearted surface joy. It's the joy that comes from deep within us. It's that joy that is always here for us and available whenever we tune into it. And that's what I feel every time Helena and I meet, every time we have a Joy Keepers Cafe, every time I go to the community and also reading this book. It's that frequency of joy just fills me up from inside.
Mm. Yes. What about you, Helena?
Same.
Yeah.
Actually, same with both of what you shared. I've done it a little while ago. This thing with reducing my engagement on Facebook to exactly what I want and nothing else, and the same with newsletters. And it's been peaceful.
Ah, so
It's been
nice.
wonderful.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. It works. It really does.
Yeah.
And again, when you, Sheila mentioned it a little bit, but I also feel like even now, like when we meet the three of us, every time you meet people that you resonate with this, it's such a beautiful opportunity to because things happen that we couldn't imagine would happen, and they happen across the world. Right now we sit in three different places in three different countries in the world, just like that, and are having a conversation and are inspiring each other and hopefully other people from many more countries. And that
Yes.
happens through connection, through the connection that really feels right. So much can open when we make these choices.
Mm. It really sounds like, yeah, the Joy Keepers Network is supporting people where they are. Like,
Mm.
and I feel when you're speaking about this, you might want to correct me if I'm wrong, but um, it's not meant that, well, not everyone can go around feeling joyful all the time, but it's a place where you can go in and know that, like you said, Sheila, it's the pure joy, like it's the deep joy. And you take it lighthearted, but not in that way that might people think about it, but in a way that is positive and is loving and is inclusive. And I think it's a good place to know to go and be aware that if you're feeling a little down, if you're feeling a little drained in your energy, that you know there is this beautiful community that will lift you. And if you have that intention of just being lifted, to be open to be positively affected by the energy of joy, then this is the perfect opportunity to just join this community and to be part of it and to share when you have that joy fill your life and your life experience. Share it, because I know for myself, when I hear people talking about joyful things and I'm kind of down or something is going on, it is, it what do you call it, it's like a magnet. I
Mm.
feel like I'm being lifted. I'm just being, without doing anything, I'm just being lifted by the words, by the energy. And so I'm thinking, if people just want to be more open and in tune with what do I and maybe not need, but what would help me right now to release what is, the illusion of not the truth of joy and happiness. This
Mm.
is a place where you can find that solitude. Am I
Mm.
right? At least that's what I'm feeling when you're
Yeah.
speaking. So I'm just trying to
But
put it into words.
that is very true, and it's exactly the same with the book, and it's exactly the same with the Joy Keepers Network. That I know that Sheila is a big advocate for feeling all of our emotions,
Yes.
and so am I. So our path into joy may be very different, but but it is a path of saying yes to everything that we are, and then realizing that joy holds us. Joy embraces all of it. And there's been so many of our cafes, for example, when people came that are in grief, that have just lost a loved one, and that is so welcome. That is so welcome. Everything is welcome there because joy can embrace it. So yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely
That makes my heart bubble with joy. Really, it
right.
does. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you both. You're beautiful souls, both of you. But before we end this conversation today, I just want to hear with both of you if there's anything um, you would like to share of inspiration or uplifting words, maybe a poem, something that you feel would lift the spirit of these people watching now or maybe later. Or is there anything you guys want to share before as a gift right now before we leave for today? I had to
Well,
put you on the spot.
Yes, you do. Sheila?
when you ask about that, what's the word that's been in my head for a little while now is what I'm going to move to, and that is um, savor, savoring every emotion, savoring the. I love to. Yesterday, I found a letter. It just randomly. I looked in the closet I go in all the time, and there was a typed out letter that I had written to my child's preschool teacher when they were 4 years old. And it was after a meeting where they were concerned because my child was selectively mute. They didn't speak in different places during this period of time. And it was a really stressful time in our family. And so I was responding to them. Justin did start speaking 2 weeks later in all of the settings and is now away across the country getting a PhD. But in that moment, going back to that moment, I felt all of the grief that I experienced back at that time and completely forgot about. And in the same moment, I savored it. I read it like 3 or 4 times and let everything come out. There was a timeline of everything the family had been through, including my near death, the death of one of my closest friends, the birth of a premature nephew who didn't end up making it. And so I looked at that and there was this mix between I cried and I felt so much joy for the love that I felt then, for the joy of the path that we've been through. And in the darkest times, we can always savor the joy of the moment. And sometimes going back and reflecting on them is an opportunity to just feel everything and let that joy be that beacon. Justin and I sent it to Justin and they read it and we went back and forth. And after a little bit, Justin wrote, and by the way, I probably never said this before, but thanks for not dying when you were really sick. That would have been a huge bummer. We just laughed with it. So
I'm getting
it's just,
moved.
I wanted to share that.
Yeah, that was
I just wanted
beautiful.
to share that experience because I'm such a
Mm.
component or proponent of feeling the sadness and the joy in the same moment. I think that's one
Yeah.
of the most miraculous states of being.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Helena, anything you want to share with
Well,
us?
s- you said a poem, so I had my poetry book right there, and I took it up, and I opened it in a random, I don't think so,
Isn't it a
place.
word for it? Bibliomancy? I think that's what it's called.
Aha,
Bibliomancy. Yeah.
good. Here's the poem. Rainbow. Between tears and light, I am being stretched and arched. I am a rainbow.
Can you say it
Between
again?
tears and light.
Please, one more time because I want to feel every word of that. One
I
more time.
know. Between tears and light, I am being stretched and arched. I am a rainbow.
That is so beautiful and it's so suitable after you share that story, Sheila. It's just, it's so connected. It's like,
Yeah,
wow.
it
Wow.
is. I
Thank you
love it.
so much. Yeah, that was beautiful. Well, what can I say? This has been a beautiful conversation. a joyous conversation. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me here on the Spiritual Quest podcast, Helena and Sheila.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and I want to invite you back so we can have some more joy and inspiration later on as well. So we can kind of, we are transitioning. A lot of people are going through shifts, so they might need some more joyful inspiration as the year moves to an end. So I'll have you back on if you would like to, and then we'll
Thank you.
keep shining and spreading this beautiful light. So thank you both for being here with me today. And please stay
Thank
on
you.
the line. Do not hang up. I will be back, okay? I will just have to end this session and you stay on. Okay, how is that? I would love your feedback on this conversation. This conversation, like, I hope you can feel it. It is bringing tears to my eye, joyful tears, because I am filled with hope. I'm filled with joy. I'm feeling so grateful and blessed to be able to have this connection with so heart-centered people, souls like Sheila and Helena. And I wish everyone deserves these kinds of connection. And it always starts with us, right? So opening your heart and being in your heart space and just allowing people in. And it's safe to allow people in. These are beautiful souls, and I hope you feel it. So, before I end, I want to just mention that you're able to sit down with Spirit to have a conversation with Zarius and the Order of Seven. All you have to do is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then do as Mia did today. She wrote where she was from in the chat during a live session. And she just mentioned that she would like to have or be part of winning this session with the order. So if you want to be part of that and have a chance to win, please do so. And yeah, I will let you all know at the end of September who is the lucky winner. That is all for today. I'll be back next week with another special guest. It is Laura Fantine, if I'm not mistaken. That will be her next week. She's also a returning guest, and we'll be talking about her latest book as well. So thank you so much for joining me and being here with us. Thank you again to Helena and Sheila. Love you both so much. See you next time. Much love and light to you all. Bye now.